Good afternoon, everyone. I presume I'm making an assumption that everyone's in now an afternoon time zone. And we'll get started now. For those of you that didn't attend the first webinar this morning, uh, hello on there. And what we'll be talking about here is how to design a loyalty program. I myself have been in the retailing and computer industry for over 35 years and have designed a lot of loyalty programs and seen ones that have worked and haven't worked. And a lot of customers have asked me to help do the stats. And this was a presentation that became because I had staff installing things and they needed to have these answers to install it within like a computer system. So that's who I am. My name is Ron Friedman, and you can get to me various different ways and through also pet food experts. So what we're going to be looking at today is the definition and a little history for a minute to have some fun with about loyalty programs and look at why you should have one, what the reward should be, what should the results be for your business, and the big section is the steps and timeframes of how to implement. If you have any questions during this presentation, some of you are muted and stuff like that, so the best way to do it is through the chat window. I'll try and pay attention to that. Certainly at the end of the presentation, I will have time for questions, and we could jump back to any slide then. And this webinar is being recorded, which I will try and publish even out there on my website so people can download it, but you're more than welcome to let us know if you need the webinar again or the slides, for sharing with staff members or colleagues. What I found is the first loyalty program was the S&H Green Stamps. Started in 1896, way before any of our times, but I do remember sitting around the dining room table and licking those stamps and putting them into books. For those of you that are too young to remember that, that's what we did. You collected them at various businesses, and then you would, with full books, you could redeem them at their stores. They were almost like catalog showrooms for products, and you had the tough decision to decide because the more books you redeem, the higher value exponentially products that you got. They were so popular in its heyday that they printed more stamps in a year than the U.S. Postal Service. And in their heyday too, they were the world's largest purchaser of consumer products. This is before Walmart, but to fulfill, they had to buy so much product to fulfill the redemptions. Where it all changed a lot, in my opinion, is when the airline industry got deregulated and American Airlines started their A-Advantage program, and we really got into loyalty programs as we know them today. This is a slide, the only one that I have that I borrowed from someone, that gives a little example of why people like loyalty programs on there. And, they have to have relevance, they have to have recognition, they have to have rewards. And someone tied it back to Maslow theory. And I agree with it. People want status. They want special deals. They want discounts. They want to be the first to know about something. Privileges, services. Those are our loyal customers. Here, oops, sorry, I'm going to have to mute someone here because there's background noise. There we go. On there. And the National Retail Federation every year ups their figures on this, but the most recent one at the beginning of last year said the average American adult is a member of 21 loyalty programs. Think about it, airlines, hotels, grocery stores, pharmacies, department stores. When they first put out this stat about 4 years ago, the number was 18. And initially I said, gosh, no, I'm a guy. I'm not a member of 18. And I went through this list because I was just preparing this slide presentation for the first time. And sure enough, I was a member of 18 loyalty programs. Today they say 21, and I keep all my loyalty cards on my cell phone on a CardStar app. And I may be embarrassed to tell you that my last count was 43. Amazing, because I need to carry them for like Hertz and this and that. You don't get the price, you don't get whatever if you're not a member of the loyalty program. There we go. So what should the reward be if I was going to do a loyalty program? Well, should it be dollars given out at the point of sale system? I don't like that. That is my least favorite, though most point of sale systems, that's the way it's built in. When the point of sale system identifies the earnings and says, the clerk will then say to the customer at the end of the sale, oh, you've earned $5. Do you want me to take it off this transaction? That had no effect on the way the customer shopped the store. If you were to tell a customer when they walked into your business that they had $5 extra to spend, they may buy something more expensive. You may change how they shop your store if they know about money, free money, in advance. Dollars back by check. Staples, Dick's Sporting Goods, they do it. I like it because it's mailed, but they have my name on it. They're not regifted. They're on paper. I can lose them. Some of these guys have expiration dates on it, which then upsets me if I lose it because of the expiration date. So it's not, I like it better than dollars off at the register, but I still don't really like it. It's not my favorite. I like gift cards, either mailed or given out at the point of sale, and we'll talk more about that. What should the reward amount be? Most businesses are in the 1 to 5% of purchases. Most businesses consider this as advertising. And if you have a really good loyalty program going, I've known businesses that have not done any other spend in advertising. Yeah, they'll do free stuff through social media and things like that, but have stopped all their newspaper and couponing, etc., except through their loyalty and social media side. Now, for those of you that did attend the earlier webinar today, forgive me, but this will be a quick refresher. But the reason I recommend the gift card as the reward for loyalty is on the next few slides. What we've found is working with retailers across the country for over 35 years is retailers want three things. They want more referrals, they want more tickets per day, more transactions, and they want the transaction dollar amount to go up, raise the average ticket. Everything a retailer does, be it restaurant or service or regular retail, should be focused on these 3 bullet points. If you think about it, when someone gives a gift card, no matter how they got it, they may have bought it for someone, they may be regifting it, they may have earned it, but the act of giving a gift card to someone else subliminally says to the recipient, I shop there, I like shopping there, I think you should shop there, here's some money to shop there by, now go shop there. Isn't that the ultimate referral on your business? And the customer likes gift cards. And the card usually goes in the wallet or purse, so it's top of the mind awareness. They get to your business sooner than they would otherwise, and they become price insensitive when they have a gift card in their possession. They typically spend about twice the value. Looking at the formula on the bottom comes from clients of ours. When this is the average formula that we've now seen, that when there's a gift card on a transaction, The spend is the average ticket plus the gift card face value plus another $5 to $10 more. So if you had a $35 average ticket and a $10 gift card, the customer is typically spending $50 now on that transaction. I like that. If I was in retailing again, I would want a gift card on every transaction. So this comes as to how do I get more gift cards out there? And the type of gift cards we're talking about here are closed loop, ones that are only issued by your business and available to redeem only in your business. They're promotional, so they're an accounting promotion expense when redeemed. They're not a liability. They're reusable and rechargeable if you want them to be. Here's an example of what one looks like, and here's examples of people using gift cards for their loyalty programs. So let's get back to designing the loyalty program. We need to determine then the value of the gift card. I teach that it needs to be at least a quarter of your average ticket value. So if you have a $35 average ticket, you want to have a $10 gift card. Consider that if you're a very high average ticket business, like a ski, bicycle, or furniture store, and you gave away a $5 gift card, what would that do? It wouldn't even pay for the tax on most tickets. Since most of you I know aren't in there and your average ticket may be $35 or $50, the formula does work very well, and that's what it should be. Because then that gift card could be regifted. Has to be substantial enough to be regifted. It needs to be in one of the dollar amounts of like 5, 10, 20, or 25, because that's typical of the bills in our wallet other than the $25 bill. I think the government should print $25 bills. I really think so. But, and you could have one award level or multiples. A one award level would be something like earn 500 points, you get a $10 gift card. A multiple award program would be have the additional level of, well, maybe spend 750 or 800 points and you get a $20 gift card. The customer can choose when to redeem, wait for the better value, or spend right away. In a one-level program, you get more gift cards in circulation. More of them may be regifted. It's the simplest to administer and explain to customers. In a multi-level program, you're really physically putting less gift cards in circulation because some of them are a higher dollar value. If you have a very high dollar value on there, you will find that they may not be regifted. We found this in a few industries. One of them I use as an example is the wine and liquor industry. The customer designed it with a $10, $50, and $90 redemption or earnings. So you could get a $90 gift card if you saved your earnings. And what we warned them is the $90 gift card won't be regifted, the 50 sometimes, the 10 often. And that's what really turned out to be, because the psychology of it says is that when someone's saving for a $90 gift card, they have we call it their eye on the prize. They're saving up for that aged bottle of scotch they would have never bought cash, for themselves with cash, or that unique wine that they would never saw on there. So they have their eye on the prize and don't regift the high dollar plateau gift cards. So what should a point be worth? The simplest is $1 equals 1 point. But that's my least favorite, especially if you're in an industry that maybe a sin industry, or maybe even still in the pet industry, when people may be watching their budgets. You have to watch out for this because a lot of times, I recommend it that you print on your receipt what your earnings are, what your total earnings are, your total point balance is. And let's say that the spouse, one pays the bill and one does the spend. Someone may say, gosh, did we do $250 or, 250 points with that business in the last 2 months? Too easy to calculate. Too easy to make that type of conclusion. So I recommend using a multiplier. The next most common is 10 points for $1. That's nice. It's not my favorite because it makes sometimes the goals too high. So now instead of, if you have a 200 spend, you got to get to 2,000 points or something like that. $5 or 5 points for $1 is my favorite. It's a little difficult for the customer to figure out what the spend was, and the reward's goal is not too large. The other one I like, and I've had a few customers use it, is fractional points. For example, you spend $4, you get 1 point. Now you have to decide if you use truncation on there. So if you spend $6, do you get 1 point or 2 points? You can make those decisions. But the goal when you fractional is so low. What should you do one also for extra rewards? Well, I like having extra rewards. Absolutely. For bonus points, for slow days, maybe Wednesdays are your slow days, give double points or double points on certain items. Or instead of sales, Walgreens has now just got into the loyalty program about a year ago. If you look at any of their ads, they'll even say, here, buy this, get 5,000 extra points. And then in parentheses, they'll say that equals $5. They're letting you know what it is they're giving points for so you can bank it type of thing. And they've been doing it primarily for specific products. Maybe if you accumulate a certain amount of points within a certain time frame, you'll get bonus points. Or if you redeem things, we'll give you bonus points. And certainly for referring a friend. I would say that should be at least 100, 200 points, again, depending what the value is. How do you give the reward on there? The reward can be mailed, and that is my favorite on there. The reward is if when mailed, you get some great, neat things happening on there. Because these days in the mail, what do we get? We get bills, we get junk mail, and that's about it. But when we get money in the mail, you've made that person's day. And so they get, I'll use the example of Acme Pet sends out a $10 reward gift card. And when they open up, they see the mail from Acme Pet. What are they sending? Whatever. Oh, it's my $10 gift card. Wow, cool. Oh, there's a letter in here, a congratulatory letter. And in that congratulatory letter, it says to them, you can spend this gift card whenever you want. And we thank you for reaching this level of participation in our loyalty program. And so here's the gift card. You can use it yourself, or you can share the shopping experience with a friend, which is regifting it. And so it's a great way of doing it that way. And I've even seen, because a gift card and a piece of paper and an envelope is not announced, so I've even seen some people putting some advertising, having it co-sponsored, having that some of your vendors in your industry have paid for some of these mailings to get their advertising directly to your customers. So there's a lot of advantage of mailing it, though there's lead time, there's expense, there's the prep time, and sometimes they get lost in the mail, which can be an advantage or a disadvantage. You can give them out at point of sale. On there, it's, when the cashier sees that they've earned enough points, you can say to them, oh, here, you have a $5 gift card. Do you want me to activate it for you? So it's continuous. It does usually require an extra visit because they'll take it out of the store with them. But they could turn around and respend it right away in the store. But there's no planned redemption bump at all, where when you mail it, you know that a week or two after you mail them, you're going to get a lot of people coming in and spending them. And there we go. On there, missing part of slide and a duplicate there. Sorry. So if you email it through things like Constant Contact or Customer Connect and things like that, you sometimes get the best of both worlds because you can email them that they've earned enough points, but they have to come in to pick up their gift card. So you got a bit of both worlds on there because you can email them at a scheduled time where you want the bump, but they have to still come in to get it. So what are the results that you should expect? A raise in customer loyalty for sure, price and sensitivity when they have those gift cards, even when they don't. I've seen people and interviewed people that say, the price is similar here, but I'm going to wait to buy it at my normal place because I am that close to getting a gift card. So you really start getting people to say, gosh, I'm going to keep shopping where I shop because of this program. Here's an example, a recent one, Dunkin' Perks, Dunkin' Donuts. They used the 5 points one. So I agree with their point values, though I've disagreed on how they've implemented the store. I can't remember the last time someone in a Dunkin' Donuts has asked me for my card. And if I don't remember, I don't get the points. And I generally don't remember because I'm in a hurry in the morning. I think it's very poor implementation, personally, they've had of a well-designed program. So how do we get started on this? We've done all the math part. You need to have a form. Even though I'm in the computer industry or was in the computer industry, you need a form because some people are going to write it down, and I prefer, and you'll see in a minute, of how to get it through at the register on there. Decide what information you want to track. Name, email, address, phone number, birthdays, pet names, pet birthdays. Because you can, once you have that stuff, you can market to it. Here's an example of an enrollment form. I like it when it has the blocks on it because people can read it if it has to be entered after the fact. You can have the form online. You can have a kiosk in your store. Maybe the customer can key it all in. You need to talk about the legal requirements when you design a program and write down the rules, like what they can earn, stating the rules of it. For every dollar you spend, you get 5 points. Can the points be transferred, sold? Do they expire? Make sure you have something in it like program subject to termination at any time. Because if you were to sell your business, they may consider this as a liability on your business. So by having this in there, the burden is on the buyer of your business to continue the program or not. I like the paper form because at the point of sale counter, you don't have to have the customer stand there and give all the information to the clerk while other people are online. And boy, it's hard to type in an email address and a last name and some street names at the point of sale counter. So I recommend the customer fill it out separately, but get credit for the first transaction. Because a lot of times the first time they're in the store and joining your program may be their largest sale. So most point of sale systems will allow you to create that customer record with a minimum amount of information like phone number and name. And then later on, the customer can hand you the filled in form and they can fill it in and you can type it in with backroom staff on a rainy day. I recommend having a sign-up bonus. So when the customer comes in, and let's say you have a 500-point program, give them 200 to 300 points. Because what you've gotten is now a way to reach them directly. One of the best ways to market is that email address, phone number, birthdays, other things. Birthdays is very important. I didn't mention on the previous slide. The last stat I have seen, the most opened email is birthday and anniversary congratulatory emails. Those are the ones that don't make it to the trash bin at all. The signing bonus trains the customer in this respect. So let's say the example of 500-point program, and you give them 200 to 300 points, so they shop your store now a couple more times, and suddenly they were at their 500 plateau. But they didn't remember that you seeded them with 200 to 300 points. Their conclusion is, the customer's conclusion is, wow, that was easy. That was quick. The program works. I'm hooked. Certainly for the next one, they're going to have to earn the full 500 points themselves, but you now got them locked in to your loyalty program. I do recommend creating a brochure also. Hesitant customers can read it. Participating customers can confirm it. Some people take it home and make sure you stick to what's in there. It is a fantastic training tool for your staff. Okay? Because any staff member needs to understand the loyalty program inside and out. They'll eat and breathe it. And that brochure is their live tool for it. And certainly add some professionalism to it. Decide on any opening promotions. Maybe cashier sign-up incentives. I'm going to state the obvious, but I've needed to sometimes, so I'll state it here that if you have part and full-time employees, design a cashier's incentive that they all can win, not just the full-timers. If it's just based on the number of sign-ups, the full-timers have a big advantage over the part-timers. Make sure you even it out by weighting it or so. Do you use customer cards like key tags or loyalty cards? I usually say my recommendation is let the customer decide. If they don't want anything and they're putting it on their phone, or you're going to identify them by name or phone number at the point of sale, that's fine. But if they want to carry your advertising on their keychain or in their wallet, spend the 33 to 85 cents and give them a card to carry around. Let them have the choice. And the big one really on this slide is design a loyalty program name. Get a name for it. Have a few drinks of beer or wine, whatever you prefer, with your staff, and get a name, because this is what's going to stick for a long time. Come up with a great and catchy name. Now, if you have an existing loyalty program in place, you need to make sure the customer is comfortable moving over. Some of them, we talked about were dollars at the register and stuff like that. Tell them they're going to get a gift card for those dollars, which they can spend on anything. So there's no loss there at all. And they can share it with a friend too. So really there's advantages to that. If there was free items like the punch cards or anything like that you had, the punch cards can be used and cashed in, on there for like a percentage, or you can wait till they're fully redeemed and let them all go through. But you can tell them the gift cards are the same as free items, because they can spend the gift cards and get free items out of it. Here's just an example of what Kohl's has done to value the email addresses. And the loyalty program is really the key way to get email addresses, because when people are in the store and you ask them, hey, can I get your email address for my mail list? A lot of them are like, no, or they'll give you their not so good, very used email address. But when you tie it to a loyalty program, you get their valid and good email address. And Kohl's has said an email address is worth at least $5 to them. Here's another idea of incentives when someone signs up for loyalty. And here's another example of a form on there asking them their shoe store, getting sizes and genders and birthdays. And here's their example, and they used a percentage off. They used it as, fractional points. For every $2 you spend, you get 1 point. So when you reach 100 points, you get a $10 gift card. So it sounds so low, especially in shoes. Here's another example with a 5-point, one of our customer designs, 5 points per dollar spent. These are national statements saying 61% of people believe that loyalty programs are best and 65% view their loyalty customers as their essential part of their marketing mix. I hope over time, some of you that implement loyalty programs share that information with you, but I truly believe that in small businesses, these numbers are in the 90 to 95% when you implement a great loyalty program. And I love to get those type of stats from small businesses that are slowly getting into doing really good, successful loyalty programs. So please stay in contact with me and share your information, and or if you need help analyzing it, we will help you with that. This is a checklist form that I have, so it summarizes everything you need to make decisions on. And then usually, if you have a point of sale system, you can use this to set up your point of sale system for. And I can send that to people too, besides sending the presentation. So I'm gonna open it up and unmute people, but I also see there's something that just popped up in the chat window. So I'm opening up to any questions that people may have on there. And let me just read here what's in the chat window. Okay, let me read this. Okay, it's from Michelle. Thank you. Our current loyalty program is 1 point for every dollar spent. When they get to 250 points, they get a coupon for $5 off the next time they're in. I will be changing just now. However, some customers only buy dog. Okay, dog cat food. We relay this without getting customers set. Since it's only good on dog cat food before, I generally like it throughout the whole business because you want them to spend all over the place. But the reaction I sometimes get is, well, my margins are. So what's to say that awards, assuming you have a point of sale system, it's hard to do. You have a straight cash register system to say, okay, dog food only give 2 points per dollar spent, but on toys, I give 5 or 10 points per dollar spent. And on grooming, if you do that, I give also 10 points. You can vary the points per it and just make that decision up front and tell them that. But you want to encourage people to use as many different departments in your business as possible. You want them to be the only vendor for them in your category if possible. I hope that answers your question, Michelle. Okay, there's another one in the window here from Don. Thank you. Are you familiar with loyalty programs that tie into Lightspeed POS? If they tie into Lightspeed, I'm not familiar with Lightspeed, that means they're most probably going through the internet when you say that, because there's really 2 types of loyalty programs that I've seen out there. Ones that are built in exclusively into the point of sale system, and others that go through, I'll call it a third party or web-based one on there. Either one will work on there. My objection, sort of, to the internet-based ones, there's fees attached to them, where if they're in the point of sale system already, you administer them totally. But on the other hand, if the loyalty program is doing what you want it to be doing and growing your business, so you spend a few dollars for the hosting of it, I have no problem then with it on there. But most of them can implement what we just talked about here. There's some background noise, so I may have to mute people if hear it.
Take this away.
Call from 845-459-8957.
I'm gonna see who's muting some people. Let's see. So let me know if you've been muted and you need to ask a verbal question. Okay. Okay, you responded back that it is cloud-based. Okay, very good, but that should be okay there. Any other questions? Let's see if I can unmute. Or I think you guys can also unmute yourself. There was a code that you get there, but Patrick, you're unmuted, and retail floors unmuted. I think the noise was coming from the background noise from Kathy's on there. So any other questions? I will bring back up maybe the first slide if I can get to it real quickly with my contact information. Whee! So if you need to get to me, you can. There you go. And my phone number, what's not on there, which is 607 607 524 0057. And that usually goes to a voicemail, but then that gets transcribed and sent to my email. So I usually can get back to people very quickly on it. Hopefully I got to everyone. I appreciate it all, and just let me know. Oh, there was one I missed here. Aha, I think. Patrick. I'm sorry. Patrick, I missed yours. If using cards, what is the average cost per card to make cards? God, thank you on there. Well, there's two, it depends on volume. That's really the question on there. When you get to 1,000, 2,000 or more, there are some great national companies that I recommend. One Vanguard, one Card Marketing Service that do great jobs. They do charge a bit for the design, and then the reprints are great. We had to find ourselves a niche in there because we had a lot of customers that only wanted to do small runs of cards for various reasons, 50, 100, 200 at a time, especially when people were getting going, or if they did promotional cards or wanted to, change the card design a lot with pictures on it. And we're on average at 85 cents a card for the low run cards, and we do charge design time if we have to help with the design. If it can come, we call it camera ready with the right JPEG resolution. We don't charge anything for that. And the other niche that we found for what we do on the gift cards is the nationals take 4 to 6 weeks to do production. And we found that an issue for a lot of small businesses where they get into these what I call oops situations and run out and didn't realize it, right before a promotion or a holiday. Once we have the design set here, we can usually turn around in 2 to 3 days. So it's a big difference there, and I hope that answers your questions. We can provide a price list for the low-run gift cards that we produce. Okay, and let's see. Okay, I will email you, Michelle. I see that. Thank you. And anyone else? Okay, thank you also. Oh, thank you all then. And then let me know if you need anything, and we should be all set.